Most AI agent failures do not start with the model. They start with the way we ask the agent to work. People write one long prompt. They ask the agent to research a topic, create a draft, find leads, analyze competitors, or build a workflow. Then they expect the result to be accurate, consistent, and useful every time. When it fails, they blame the AI, but often, the real issue is simpler. The agent was never given a process. It was never told what to check first. It was never told which sources to trust. It was never told what to ignore. It was never told when to stop. It was never told when to ask for human review. A prompt tells an AI what you want, and SOP tells an AI how the work should be done. That difference matters because AI agents are not just chatbots. A chatbot gives you an answer. An agent is supposed to move through a task. It can research, compare, classify, summarize, draft, organize files, prepare reports, or move information from one step to another. That makes it useful, but it also gives it more ways to be wrong. This is why AI agents do not just need better prompts. They need SOPs, standard operating procedures. That sounds boring, but for creators, marketers, freelancers, SEO professionals, automation builders, and online business owners, SOPs may become one of the most important AI skills to learn. Not because SOPs are exciting, but because repeatable work needs repeatable instructions. For the last few years, most people learned AI through chat. You open ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Perplexity, or another tool. You typed a request, the AI answered. You refined the answer, you copied the output. That trained us to think of AI as a conversation. And for quick tasks, that still works, but agents are different. The shift is from conversation to execution. Instead of asking AI to simply answer, people are now asking AI systems to carry out multi-step work, research video ideas, analyze keywords, create content briefs, review documents, classify leads, draft client replies, prepare campaign ideas, build workflow documents. That is a different kind of task. A chatbot can respond to a prompt. An agent needs to operate inside a process. And this is where many people get stuck. They want the agent to behave like a trained assistant, but they give it instructions like a casual chatbot. Find me good video ideas, research this market, write a blog post, analyze these competitors. The AI may produce something that looks useful. It may sound polished, but unless the workflow is clearly defined, the agent is guessing the method. It guesses what good means. It guesses which sources matter. It guesses how deep the research should go. It guesses what to ignore. It guesses when the work is finished. That is not a reliable system. That is a fluent guess, and this is the key idea. Most people think they have an AI problem. What they actually have is a process problem. The agent is not failing because it lacks intelligence. It is failing because nobody taught it the process. So let's make this practical. Imagine you run a YouTube channel called AI Workflow. Your audience is creators, marketers, freelancers, SEO professionals, automation builders, and online business owners. You want an AI agent to help you find strong YouTube video ideas. A basic prompt would be, find me 10 good video ideas about AI automation. The agent may give you 10 ideas. Some may sound interesting. Some may be generic. Some may be too hype-driven. Some may be too technical. Some may not fit the channel. And if you ask again tomorrow, the quality may change. Why? Because the agent was never given a standard. Now imagine giving the agent an SOP instead. A simple SOP has 5 parts: goal, procedure, decision logic, quality control. Human approval, that is the framework, goal, procedure, decision logic, quality control. Human approval, the first part is the goal. Do not just say, find video ideas. Say, find serious, practical, timely video ideas for an AI workflow channel. The audience is creators, marketers, freelancers, SEO professionals, automation builders, and online business owners. The idea should explain how AI tools, agents, search, automation, and workflows are changing real work. Avoid hype, fake urgency, unrealistic income claims, and generic tool lists. That is already much better. The agent now understands the type of ideas that belong. It also understands what to reject. The second part is the procedure. This is the order of steps. For the YouTube idea agent, the procedure could be: first, define the audience pain. What problem does this audience actually have? Second, scan for relevant AI workflow trends. Not every AI news story, only trends that change how people work. Third, separate tool news from workflow impact. A new feature is not automatically a good video. The real question is, what does this change in the work process? Fourth, generate possible angles. What is the tension? What is the warning? What is the useful lesson? Fifth, reject weak ideas. Remove ideas that are too broad, too generic, too speculative, or too disconnected from the audience. Sixth, rank the remaining ideas by practical value, timing, clarity, and channel fit. Now the agent has a path. It is not just brainstorming, it is following a process. The third part is decision logic. This is where the SOP becomes powerful. Decision logic tells the agent what to do when something is unclear. For example, if the topic is only a tool update, reject it unless there is a clear workflow impact. If a claim cannot be verified, mark it as uncertain. If the idea sounds like a generic top tools video, downgrade it. If the topic is too technical for the audience, simplify it or reject it. If the idea depends on hype, reject it. If the idea has strong audience pain but weak evidence, send it to human review. This matters because AI agents do not only need instructions, they need rules for judgment. Without decision logic, the agent may produce ideas that sound good but do not fit your strategy. With decision logic, the agent can filter better, and filtering is often more valuable than generating. Most creators do not need more ideas, they need better selection. The fourth part is quality control. This is the checklist before the output is accepted. For the YouTube idea agent, quality control could ask, does this idea match the audience? Does it fit the channel identity? Is the topic practical? Is the angle clear? Is the claim supportable? Is it too generic? Would a skeptical viewer trust it? Could this become a full video, not just a catchy title? If an idea fails the checklist, the agent should not include it as a final recommendation, or it should clearly explain the weakness. This is important because AI often tries to satisfy the request by producing something. But in serious workflows, sometimes the best answer is, this idea is not strong enough. That is what quality control makes possible. The fifth part is human approval. This is the part many people want to skip. But it is the part that keeps the system safe. The agent can prepare the options. It can explain the reasoning. It can flag weak claims. It can suggest the strongest angles, but the human should choose what gets produced. That is the correct relationship. The agent accelerates the workflow. The SOP controls the process. The human owns the judgment. Now compare the two versions. The weak version says, find me 10 good video ideas about AI automation. The agent guesses. The SOP version says, use this channel positioning. Follow this research process. Apply these rejection rules. Check quality before finalizing. Flag uncertainty. Send the final ideas for human approval. That is not just a longer prompt. That is a workflow. And once you understand that, AI agents become much more useful. This same idea applies beyond YouTube. For SEO, a weak prompt says, give me keywords for this topic. An SOP says, define the niche. Classify search intent. Separate informational topics from commercial ones. Check competitor angles. Flag weak assumptions. Produce a content map. then send it for human review. For content production, a weak prompt says, "Write me a blog post." An SOP separates the work into research, angle selection, outline, draft, fact-check, tone edit, and final review. For automation, a weak prompt says, "Build me a workflow," and SOP defines the trigger, inputs, steps, decisions, failure points, data rules, and human approval points. That is the real difference. Prompts are useful for one-off tasks. SOPs are useful for repeatable work. And most valuable business work is repeatable in some way. Research has a process. Content has a process. SEO has a process. Client service has a process. Lead generation has a process. Automation has a process. The more repeatable the task is, the more valuable an SOP becomes. But there is one important warning. An SOP does not make an AI agent perfect. It makes the agent more controllable. That is not the same thing. AI can still misunderstand a source. It can still use outdated information. It can still ignore a constraint. It can still make a weak judgment. So the SOP should include guardrails, a freshness rule. When was the information published? Is it still current? A source rule. Is the source reliable? Does it actually support the claim? A privacy rule. What data can the agent access? What should never be uploaded? A risk rule. What can the agent do alone? What requires human approval? These rules matter more as agents become connected to more tools. If an AI draft is bad, you can delete it. But if an agent sends the wrong message, updates the wrong record, uses private data incorrectly, or builds a plan on weak research, the cost is higher. That is why serious AI workflows need guardrails. Not because AI is useless. Because AI is useful enough that people may trust it too quickly. The biggest mistake is trying to automate a messy process. Bad workflows do not become good workflows because AI is added. They become faster bad workflows. If your content strategy is unclear, an agent can create more unclear content. If your SEO process is shallow, an agent can scale shallow SEO. If your client process is messy, an agent can make the mess harder to see. The human process comes first. The SOP translates that process into repeatable instructions. The agent executes parts of it. The human reviews what matters. That is the model. So here is the practical action. Take one task you repeat every week. Not your whole business. One task. Maybe researching video ideas. Preparing a blog brief. Reviewing competitors. Qualifying leads. Repurposing content. Building a weekly report. Write a simple SOP with 5 parts: goal, procedure, decision logic, quality control, human approval. Start with the goal. What is the real outcome? Who is the work for? What should the agent avoid? Then write the procedure. What exact steps should a reliable human follow? Then write the decision logic. If something is unclear, outdated, risky, or unsupported, what should the agent do? Then write the quality checklist. What makes the output good? What makes it weak? Then define human approval. What can the agent do alone? What must a human approve? Only after that should you give the workflow to an AI agent. Because the question is no longer, what prompt should I use? The better question is, what process should this agent follow? That is where serious AI workflow begins. An agent without an SOP is just a guess at scale. An agent with an SOP becomes a system.